Alien Covenant is Ridley Scott's latest sci-fi epic, and is the sequel to his 2012 film Prometheus and a prequel to his 1979 film Alien. And this film tells the story of a group of colonists on the Covenant ship who are on their way to colonize a far distant planet. However, they pick up a distress signal from a much nearer planet and find out that this planet is actually more habitable than the one they're originally going to. So they decide to take the risk and investigate. Now, going into this film, I was extremely excited, but really nervous at the same time. Mainly because Prometheus, for me, it was okay, but it was just a bit underwhelming overall. I don't think it was a bad film, but it really wasn't great. So the main question for me going into this was, is it better than Prometheus? Now, just before we get into the film, just want to say that this is a non-spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, don't worry. So with the good things about the film, let's just get the obvious out of the way. This film looks incredible. It's Ridley Scott, you know, the man knows what he's doing when it comes to crafting the world of the film. Create these incredible landscapes in the film that really just set the scene and just create the atmosphere for the film. Now, in terms of the scenery of what this film does much better than Prometheus, I think as incredible as Prometheus looked, the film felt extremely hollow in terms of its looks. You didn't really delve into the landscape of the planet. Whereas with Alien Covenant, I think the film explores the landscape a lot more. Sequence with the wheat in the trailers, just little things like that I really thought just added a little bit more detail to the world that the first one really didn't. I think a special mention has to really be given to the cast here. Absolute all-round solid performances. I don't think there was a bad performance at all in this film. I think special mention has to go to Michael Fassbender. The guy absolutely steals the show here. He plays a new character, a new android called Walter, and he does return later in the film to reprise his role as David, but it's not really a spoiler, so don't worry about that. Amazingly, Danny McBride, this guy was really good in this film. Really surprised me how good he was. The lead female in this, Katherine, I thought she gave a really solid performance in this. Her character definitely improved as the film went on. And as well, this film starred James Franco. Well, what they did with James Franco I thought was really ballsy. I didn't expect it at all, but you kind of rolled with it, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. As far as the film goes overall, I think this film really did blend the best parts of Prometheus and the best parts of Alien together. I really did like what Prometheus tried to do. It tried to be intelligent, it tried to explore the kind of idea of, you know, mankind, creation, where did we come from, and you do get that in this film, but also this film has the thriller aspects, the tension that Alien has, and it does it really well. If you're a fan of Prometheus and if you're a fan of Alien, you are really going to enjoy this. Well, at least I did personally. There were some really phenomenal sequences in this film as well. The standout one for me was just after the neomorph. We see two neomorphs in this film, and after they escape, there's this sort of intense standoff where they're in these cornfields and they're attacking from either side. It kind of reminded me of a lot of Jurassic Park 2 with the velociraptors, but the sound design and the editing was really well done. And, you know, it absolutely deafening in the cinema, but it still worked really well. And with the editing, you know, it was really short takes. However, it was coherent enough that you could grasp what's going on, but it still maintained the high-octane action that the film was trying to go for. Now, like I did say earlier, Michael Fassbender does reprise his role as David, and we get a greater sort of expansion on the David character, which I thought was done really well. And what this film does with David, it kind of plays on the role between artificial intelligence and human creator created. And there is an opening sequence with David and younger Wayland, who was in Prometheus, that really kind of sets the film having that overall theme. The film does expand on the alien lore, particularly with the new types of alien. We see the neomorphs in here, which are an interesting sort of earlier model of the alien, which I thought worked really well in this film. And as well, speaking of the aliens, the gore in this film was so intense. How this film was a 15, I really don't know. This is honestly the hardest 15 I've ever possibly seen in the cinema. Now, let's move on to the bad things, and unfortunately for this film, there are a few bad things. Now, like I said, this film does blend parts of Prometheus and parts of Alien really well together, but at times, the blend, it just doesn't feel smooth, or the way it transitions from a Prometheus moment to an Alien moment, it just doesn't feel smooth at all. And the best example of this is in the last sequence. You can clearly see the line of where it's gone from Prometheus to Alien, and the transition for that for me just didn't feel smooth at all, and just the transitions overall from Prometheus to Alien just weren't really well done for me. However, these individual sequences on their own I thought were fantastic. And part of that roughness in transition between Prometheus and Alien, I think, is due to the fact that, for me, this film doesn't seem like the film that Ridley Scott wanted to make originally when he was making Prometheus. Obviously, Prometheus got a lot of bad backlash from the hardcore Alien fans, and even just fans in general. Obviously, they were disappointed at the lack of Alien in Prometheus, and Scott clearly took the criticism on. And obviously, you can see he wanted to try and appeal to the Prometheus fans and the Alien fans, but just unfortunately, it just didn't feel smooth for me at all. As well, later in the film, there is a sort of a plot twist, or there's an ambiguity in a scene. For me, I saw it a mile off. It was pretty predictable, but it was still executed really well, so I can't dock too many points for that. And lastly, just the characters overall. They felt extremely expendable. Like I said, they were extremely solid performances. There wasn't a bad performance in there at all, but you could just kind of tell, okay, you're the one that's going to die, you're the one that's going to die, and you can kind of tell how they were going to die, because there were these sort of little cutaway scenes where they go for a piss break, they go for a fag break, or they'd go into a dark room. You can kind of just tell, yeah, you're gonna die. So overall, Alien Covenant for me was a really enjoyable experience. I thought it was far better than Prometheus, and I thought it really expanded on the storyline that you can see Scott is trying to set up here to sort of tie this new prequel franchise to the Alien franchise. Now I think Ridley Scott does want to make 2 or 3 more of these kind of films. You can tell we're nowhere near where Alien is in terms of the storylines. I think it'll be interesting to see how he does link the films together in these upcoming films, because I certainly have a lot of questions about how this prequel franchise will link into Alien. So my overall mark for Alien Covenant is an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film. I was really surprised by it. I thought the trailers for it did a real disservice. I thought the trailers made it look a bit underwhelming, but I was really pleasantly surprised by it. Like I said, it did so many great things, looks incredible, solid performances, blends Prometheus and Alien well together. However, the transitions between Prometheus and Alien weren't that smooth. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what you thought of Alien Covenant down in the comments section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.